4 years ago, I started to notice the differences. 9 months later, she got sent to get a scan at the New Beatson. We went down, seen him, and he says, "I'm sorry, it's early onset Alzheimer's." And at that time, she was only 57. Somebody that's young, that they can deteriorate quicker than somebody that's older. And that was what what was happening. When Dan was transferred into Unit 5, she wouldn't eat, she wouldn't get up out of bed, she wouldn't get washed. The girls had said to me that it might be an idea for her to come in and sit with her and have your dinner with her, because a close relative can sometimes help the situation. Went in the first night, and I'll never forget it, because it was link sausages and a gravy and potatoes and a vegetable, and she looked at it and she couldn't understand the knife and fork. So I had to cut it up, and she basically ate it with a fork that night. And they had said, "Right, that's great, would you come in the next night?" That's fine. And I went in every night at 5 o'clock, and the lassies in there were unbelievable with her, how they turned her round. She would sit there and have her dinner with me. She was actually looking for a second help with a pudding. She would come in, they would come and give her a second help in. She then got into a habit of knowing that I was going to be in there at that time, because she was sitting at 10 to 5 one night, and she said, "Right, well, you need to go and get your dinner." "No, I didn't get my dinner until Denis comes in at 5 o'clock. So with doing that, she then realised that that was what was happening that day. At Christmas time, she was making decorations to put up on the wall. She was decorating the trees. She was basically, helping with anything around Christmas time, and she absolutely loved it.
When she came to us, she took to lying in her bed. She was, very poorly. She wasn't eating, wasn't drinking very much, and just had lost all motivation and all will. Denis was visiting every day without fail, so we thought we would maybe encourage the John's campaign, where relatives can get a meal in the ward with their family, and encourage them to come at meal time to see if that helped with her diet. Started joining the dining room, and then she started to eat a bit more at the other meals when Denis wasn't there. When people that are under 65 get a dementia, it's not always the memory problems that are first associated with. So Diane, would remember a lot. She certainly remembered who Denis was, and where was he, and was he at his work, and what was he doing at his work, was he looking after himself? And we could see that she was missing that role as a wife and looking after her husband. So part of the meal together at night time became her making sure he was coming in for his work, and she was providing him with the meal. So we started to look at other roles that we could get her to help us with, and they included taking control, the group activities. We were lucky enough to have an activity coordinator on the ward, so she would work with Diane and in groups and get Diane to help her. So Diane would be her helper, and together they would provide the activities to the other patients, and Diane got to help the other patients. And she really flourished on this. She really enjoyed, making the Christmas decorations, seeing them being put up onto the wall, and having that sense of achievement. When Diane left and went to her specialised unit, it was Diane the person rather than Diane the patient.